So much talk these days about AI, artificial intelligence, but so many people, groups, governments trying to figure out how to harness its power to benefit their work or mission.
A venture capitalist with a technology focus based right here in central New York says this region could really benefit from AI. So joining us now, Somak Chattopadhyay, managing partner of Armory Square Ventures. Somak, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Delighted to be on the show.
So we invited you, and you wrote and published a really interesting opinion piece about how secondary cities, so we're talking not New York, Silicon Valley, Boston, Syracuse. Could really benefit from AI. What are we lacking right now, and no fault of our own, where AI could really come in and help?
Yep. So, yeah, thank you. I'm glad to hear people read this piece. I really am very passionate about the future of AI as it applies to upstate New York. And so when we think about areas where I think we can really benefit from AI, I think it's really the area of allowing developmental engineers, people who are 1 or 2 years out of college, right, who are just starting to learn how to code, how to develop software products. I'm talking about the technology industry. Really, one of the things that they have as an advantage now with AI is that they have, much more ability to have the capabilities of people who are what we call the 10x, 100x engineers in Silicon Valley. So just like if we were to take the analogy of sports teams, right? There's only one Carmelo Anthony or Michael Jordan, right? Having AI tools like OpenAI and DeepSeek and Cloud are really allowing these people to have like the ability to really have the ability to kind of launch their coding career and be able to achieve things that would normally require 50, 100 engineers doing that with 5 or 10.
Wow.
And so that's something that's really an issue. I think upstate New York has a lot of great attributes in terms of world-class universities, a lot of great talent with domain expertise in a lot of the industries that are here, but we don't have the density of engineers that Silicon Valley and Boston have, and this helps level the playing field.
That was a great analogy, by the way.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the governor's emerging technology advisory report. So you're a member of that. What's that all about?
Yeah, so, about middle of 2024, just like basically, 6-8 months ago, Governor Hochul asked a bunch of business leaders to come together to really allow New York State to be an ethical leader in AI innovation. And so she really had a few different goals in mind. One was really allow us to be a leader, but in an ethical way, to allow us to attract the best talent in the world and to be a leader in AI. Another area which was a key focus was upskilling. So there's no question that there's a lot of people whose jobs will be affected by AI. And one of the things that she asked us all to come together was how can we actually, retrain these people so that they can join the workforce and have jobs that are for, an AI forward future. And the third thing that she was focusing on was really making sure that we could do that in an equitable way. So it doesn't, all of the value doesn't accrue to just a few people at the top. And so that's what we did, and a few of the members of the board, it's chaired by the CEO of IBM and the CEO of Girls Who Code. We also have the CEOs of JetBlue, Pfizer, Micron, M&T, and I was lucky to be selected as the VC member of that board.
Try to squeeze a couple more in here because we're running lower on time. How do we scale this up? How do we get this going? So we talk about it, we could benefit from it here. How do we actually implement it?
Yeah, so I think, you can see the report that that was published on the Governor Hochul's site, but a few of the areas that we're excited about doing is really, spreading the word and sharing resources and how we can, do knowledge sharing. Right now, a lot of the big companies like Google and Meta and IBM are investing tremendous resources in terms of how they can make their own organizations more efficient through AI. A lot of that knowledge has not yet been shared with smaller and medium-sized businesses. That's one thing that I'm really passionate about doing. And it's also finding ways to recruit the talent. There's phenomenal people who are graduating from all the universities that we have here locally, and they're people, like, they remind me of what I was like maybe when I was in college in the 90s, where everybody was trying to figure out the World Wide Web, and large Fortune 50 CEOs were asking us for questions. I'm the one asking those questions now as a middle-aged person to a lot of the people at some of these local universities, and we're trying to find ways to create that talent funnel for our companies to be able to AOI forward.
Okay, so you create the talent. It's created here. How do you keep the companies here and not chase the venture capital and the bigger markets?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's always been something that's really near and dear to my heart. The reality is that there are certain types of industries, like if you're a media technology company or you're selling to Wall Street, you probably should not be here in Central New York. But there's so many other industries in our backyard, like agriculture, manufacturing, transportation, right? Now with Micron coming in, obviously, semiconductors, right? These are all industries that have tremendous needs for technology, for digital transformation. And what we're trying to do at Armory Square Ventures with our colleagues here is really seeing how AI can be used for these local industries, which give us a leg up on our peers in Silicon Valley and Boston who don't have the same concentration of that talent locally.
Yeah, fill those holes with AI, keep them here. It sounds great. Somak, so much to cover on this topic. We're barely scratching the surface, but we appreciate having you today. I'm sure we'll have you back to talk about this again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.